How do you envision AI enhancing individual productivity in workplaces over the next decade?
So it's pretty easy to see how AI is going to be changing the way people work. If you just look at what GPT has done in the last 12 months for productivity, for those that use it, of course, that these AI tools that are being built into everything that we use are going to continually enhance how much we can output. Analyzing spreadsheets, answering emails, organizing our time, managing calendars. It doesn't really matter what you use AI for. Already, it's a productivity enhancer. And if we look at how far we've come just in the last 18 months to where we are now, if you think of a 10-year span, I think it's pretty safe to say that AI is going to be powering almost everything. And we as workers are going to end up just being essentially managers of a fleet, a team of our own select agents trained on all of the specializations that we do. And all we're doing is managing and QAing. And that's really it. There's a philosophy called micro agent architecture. And think of it like this: you have 100 different agents, and they're all really focused on trained on a very, very specific task. It might be writing titles for videos, and that's it. That's all it does. But what it has is access to a number of tools that support that one skill set, right? So when you have a manager agent say, okay, we're going to write a video, it will then ask this one micro agent, do this task. And then you've got a QA agent that it will submit the task to, checks against the original task requirement. No, yes, good, okay, passes it on, and then it passes to the next agent. So it works just like a team. And it doesn't have to be a hierarchical order of tasks. The architecture will work like a spider, and the manager and the QA will know where to route each of the tasks to based on this architecture. Now, if you were the owner of these types of systems, and I say the owner, it's not like you have to be a massive developer to build them. I'm saying that these systems are being built. They'll be built into everything. You'll just select and sort of skill up your micro agents how you want, and then you have a team of people. And that will then take your ability to produce so much higher. You're just the creative engine behind the tasks.
AI significantly augments human productivity by specializing in narrowly defined yet highly efficient tasks, transforming workers into management and quality assurance agents of their own AI teams. What implications might this have for professions that are heavily reliant on data analysis and statistical work?
These industries are going to be impacted the hardest, the first, I think. And if we look at the impact that AI has had already in the scientific field, because AI's inherent ability to look at a very, very large amount of data and apply a different level of reasoning at a high speed to the data, check the outcome against whatever model it's trying to check the outcome from, and then reassess. As AI becomes more and more available, cheaper, easy to run, these types of fields are going to start relying on that technology more than they are. And it's not just scientific fields too. It could be marketing analysis. It could be any level of statistical analysis. And I think for people within that industry, if they're not already looking at AI, starting to implement AI into their workflows, or at least keeping an understanding of how it's changing their industry, are going to be left behind. Because if you're a data scientist early on in your career and you have these tools at your disposal, you can become an advanced data scientist very, very quickly, simply because you have these tools at your disposal and you understand and can use them. And it's that type of thing that's going to shake up the industry.
AI's integration into fields like scientific research, marketing analysis, and statistical work is not just enhancing efficiency, but fundamentally changing the nature of these professions. With the significant impact AI is positioned to have on data-oriented fields, let's pivot to a topic that has stirred both interest and concern across the globe: deep fakes. Considering the sophisticated $25 million scam you mentioned, can you elaborate on the challenges deep fake technology presents to cybersecurity? And how might society adapt to mitigate these risks while maintaining integrity and trust?
I think that the deep fake scam that happened recently, where I think it was the CF was on a conference call, and he was looking at they were looking at a conference call of other people in their business, and they were convinced to transfer $25 million. And everyone else on the call was faked. It was a faked voice, faked associates, faked videos, faked images. Everything was faked, and they were duped into sending the money. I think this is the first of how scams will be. It's not necessarily cybersecurity, although for business it is a problem that they're going to have to deal with. I think the concerns early on are going to be that this will be used to fake and scam people out of money, the every person. Because you can do things like you could take my voice from, I've done a lot of videos, my voice is online a lot, and you could clone my voice fairly well from the amount of content that's online. You could probably extract from that a lot of sort of the candor, the word choices I make. You could do a fairly decent facsimile of me. Now, my images is online a lot, so of course you could do my face. For anyone with an online personality, it's going to be pretty easy. Now, if you were to find out my mother and then use this to call her, there is a chance you could scam her out of money. Please don't do that. And that doesn't take a lot of work. Now, if we take this 25 million scam, that took a lot of work. That was a team of people working very hard to do that. For a 25 million win, there was the investment. For small amounts of money, it's a lot harder and a lot more expensive. That said, over the coming years, it's going to be easier and easier. We're in an era where people don't believe what they see from organizations that are supposed to be truthful. People don't believe news much. They don't believe what's being said by politicians. Everyone's a liar unless you know them, and even then, maybe. I think people don't do research to double check. So we're in this, I don't already believe it, and now we're going to get a lot more. There is a way that you can deal with this right now, and that is essentially family code words. I have a family code word. We have a family code word that would be asked. And if you don't know the code word, then you're not, hung up on immediate. And that, I think, that level of sort of password security is how we're going to have to all deal with this going forward, because it's going to get worse and it's going to get cheaper and easier to do these. And I know that people are being faked phone call, getting these fake calls. I've seen news about it. So there are ways that we can deal with this. And it's something that you really need to be thinking about now.
Your account of the $25 million deepfake scam underscores a critical turning point in fraudulent activities, marking a shift from relatively simpler schemes like phishing emails to highly sophisticated deepfake technologies capable of convincingly mimicking voices and visual identities. How do you foresee its impact on the creative industries, particularly in entertainment, where authenticity and creativity are paramount? How AI-driven content creation and manipulation challenge and reshape the landscape of entertainment?
With the speed of which technology has been advancing as far as image generation, text to video generation, music generation, text to image generation, all of these things, all of these skills are things that you need to create like a movie. And the speed at which we've been advancing is so quick that these technologies within the next 2 or 3 years are going to get to a point where I can go to a website and tell it, I want a short video about this. And it will write the script, write the characters, write the images, design the images for those characters. Sure, it could be back and forth a couple of questions. It will then write the music and then create the video and edit and produce and deliver me a video about whatever subject I want to watch it. And that is going to happen. And it doesn't really matter what contracts and agreements and things that agents say that they're going to hold with actors. When a character can just be created and it doesn't necessarily need an actor, the contracts are meaningless, right? And it doesn't have to be these large production houses creating these videos to get them out there. You don't need the budget anymore. We're already seeing a lot of people creating these really amazing looking, mostly science fiction like movie trailers from what exists, and it's $100 a month for the licenses to use them all. Like, this is already being done. It's really only a short amount of time before all of these technologies get linked together in a single place. And the first limitation will not be about putting all of these together. The first limitation is just going to be about how long the video can be. Maybe in the next 18 months, someone will come out with the full production suite, tell it what you want, and it will just create, but it's going to be like 5 minutes long. And then it will just be a matter of time before it becomes an hour-long movie. And then all you need is really to be able to have these AIs understand the context of the greater universe that these movies are being created in, to then start creating TV series. It's going to happen. It's already in the works. People are already working on this. And I think that is the biggest impact.
The future of entertainment suggests a revolutionary shift towards AI-driven content creation, where a mix of advanced technologies enables individuals to generate movies, videos, and music on demand, bypassing traditional production processes and costs. How can creators and professionals adapt to ensure that they remain relevant and can thrive in this new landscape?
That's really the 64 million question. And I think it's going to be very hard in the not too distant future. And I like to say that a lot of people will be only affected by AI as it adds to their ability to output. But I think in the creative industry, in the short term, that's where we're going to see the biggest number of people impacted adversely, because there are scripts already being written with AI. Of course there are. The video production is not necessarily getting hit too hard just yet, but that's coming. But we are seeing a lot of AI enhanced production tools. So a lot of background removal and masking and overlay and editing, like enabling editors and stuff to deliver these tasks far faster. If you look at some of the Corridor Crew stuff that they do, they've been really pushing AI in their production tool suite that have sped up and made stuff so much easier and accessible that used to be, tens of thousands of dollars, which are now just running on a normal computer. But long term, we're going to see potentially a shift where AI can create blockbusters. AI can create these amazing spectacles that couldn't necessarily be done without a huge project budget. But we might start to see video and entertainment move more into a personal and relationship focused type production, lower budget, intimate. I already saw a report where a lot of the content on YouTube is moving to this sort of more conversational style video production over really high quality zoom in, zoom out, edits, cuts, that sort of thing. And I think that's probably how we're going to see some change happen, that it's going to change what humans create, and what the big studios have had so much control over. I think that's where they're going to get hit the most.